Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to, we have taken a little break over here at the Lean. We all still look fabulous, some of us except for me. But we're here to talk about the Real Housewives in New Jersey. It's season 14. We have been anticipating this season because it's been talked about for a while. But the last time we were all here, I just remember, I didn't realize it was the last episode. We had the debates. It was the Team Melissa versus Team Teresa debates. It was on fire. It was great. Actually, it was really good, entertaining. And just like that moment was the end of it, it looks like this season's gonna be the end of Teresa and Melissa as well because they are not speaking, and I love that. I love that. Shout out to everybody here, Danny, Jamie, Sammy. We're gonna be here all season, all summer. This is our only show we're doing this summer, and you'll probably see some other lean panelists throughout the season as well. But we are your residential hosts, as we always have been for this show. So make sure y'all like this video and subscribe to the channel. I see that April is in the chat. Jessica has been messaging me for the last month talking about this show, so I know she's excited. We all did get together before this, and we had a little separate meeting, kind of how they did on the show.
Yeah,
I'm just like, nonetheless, it's gonna be a fun season. I do call the Jersey fans thugs because y'all are ruthless. But I will say this season we will not be tolerating it. I'm wearing orange in for Sammy and Danny because I ain't got time for this.
We got it. Me and Sammy will handle them.
Y'all handle it. Okay, I know. Y'all know how.
that's why Sammy's been at the gym.
Oh,
Sammy's ready to handle
I'm not playing with
anybody that
Jersey
steps.
girls
it's gonna be a good season, but I will say this is all fun. This is all entertainment. Whereas I love to hear what y'all have to say, I don't care because this is my square. This is their square, and there's you guys' square comment box or whatever. You have your opportunity to come on the show and give your thoughts and opinions, and please use that. Otherwise, come in the comments after the show to personally attack us. We don't care. We don't. All right, so
You may get cussed out.
Yeah, like this video, subscribe to the channel. I will mention again, Chase is still a part of our family, but his channel is flourishing, honey. It is doing really well. He is doing other shows that we're not doing. I think he started doing Love and Marriage Huntsville today, and he also does the weekly hot topics with the happy hour. So go over there and don't chase your alcohol with Chase. No Chasing TV. Follow him, subscribe. Still with us, but he's also doing his own thing. So support as well. All right, so let's get into this first episode. How did y'all feel about the first episode? Like, did y'all think it was good? Like, how did y'all feel, Sammy?
I enjoyed it. Jersey always starts off they start off up there. Like it only made sense for them to have an all blowout argument at the end of the episode, but it looks like it's gonna be good. From that first little clip they showed us, the first little minute of the episode,
Maybe.
I'm looking forward to see how we get there.
Jamie, what do you think happened at that moment, at that scene? Because it's probably going to be that's probably going to happen within the first half of the season. I imagine it's going to be soon because the way they already at it right now, it's a lot of conflicts right now. People still have unfinished business. But what do you think actually happened to get to that point, Jamie?
Between Jen's mouth and Danielle's mouth, who knows? One of them probably said, it's after last season when Danielle felt like Teresa and Jen kind of set her up or, whatever. I think we all kind of discussed it, that it was only a matter of time before something changed. And the way these Jersey girls go, the outlying players always change up in between seasons. So whatever happened, thank God, because if I had to do another season of only a Melissa, Marge, and Trey feud, I would have shot myself in the face. So thank you, Danielle, for switching up. Thank you for throwing that sippy cup. Thank you, Jen, for opening your mouth again. Appreciate you.
And Danny, any thoughts on the season or what you think may happen to that moment?
I just hope somebody pops John Fuda in the mouth at some point.
Oh, listen. We're going to get to John Fuda. I titled this, The Fudas Are Thirsty. I truly feel they are thirsty. Listen, last season, no, if you've been with us from the beginning, or at least for the last two seasons, last season I did not like Rachel.
I think I was the only one who featured her a little bit.
Right.
I was fighting for my life every week.
You did. And so we're going to see how things go. But it looks like she is a full-time housewife this season. And her thing is with Teresa, which we kind of saw at the end of season 13 reading. Okay. So speaking of Rachel, Fuda, The first scene, I put Rachel Fuda is back. I put some eye rollers there. So we see her with her family. We're gonna see more of her. We saw her last year. She did have some events. She had her daughter's event. I do think her daughter is adorable. Well, one of them she has. I think she has two. And so she's spending time with the family. She, big on family. She's having a get together and food and stuff like that for the family. Her daughter has a potty mouth. She likes to say bad words, and hopefully they get that into check because. But I'm not surprised. Look at her father. Look at her father. I'm not surprised.
It's Jersey.
It is Jersey.
These people cuss like sailors.
It is. You're true. And man, I'm sorry, that's very true. But her young daughter has a speech impediment, so she's gonna work on that. I think she's younger, so she wants to do everything she can to make sure that she doesn't have any speech issues in the future. We find out that she is throwing Jen Fessler a surprise birthday party, who is also returned, not as a full-time housewife, but as a friend. So Jen Fessler, I think generally speaking, everyone kind of liked Jen Fessler. Her energy was always good. So no issues there, but she's going to be in some drama this year too. Looks like she has to choose a side, or maybe she chose her own side. We'll see that later. And so she's throwing the party. She's talking to her family about it. She said that she extended the invite to Teresa and Jen. Teresa responded and said that she was coming. I think she said Jen did not. But her mom, which she knows the history between her and Jen, she says, "Oh, nose job, Jen." So mom is clearly invested in the mess. But even with Teresa, she says because of the reunion, she feels there's still tension. We, of course, because Louis allegedly hired an investigator to look at John's past, because we know that John has a past due to his baby mama, who is like out running around town. And so to go along with that, we had two other scenes. I'll add them all in together. Melissa, her house is done. Her house looks great. Yeah, that house looks good. Like, okay, this Giselle, this is how you do a house. I'm not saying
that house
this is how you see a house. Sheree has a beautiful house too. It didn't take that long. But Antonia's going to University of Delaware. She's getting ready for that. And she is really not concerned about Teresa and says that she's not going to talk. She don't want to ask any questions about Teresa at all. And then we see Teresa, who Gabriella is going to college. And she kind of, looks back on her whole wedding album and how happy she is in love. So I'll start with you, Danny. Any thoughts on anything Rachel, Melissa, and Teresa? Because basically they all were with their families, just kind of catching up and letting people know where they stand with each of the ladies this season.
Yeah, I just found it funny that Rachel's mother said nose job, Jen, when she's sitting at the table with with the spokesperson for bad nose jobs. And what I will say is, with Melissa saying she don't want to talk about Teresa and all that, she seems to be the only person that has said this episode and actually stuck to it. I will give her credit for that. She has stuck to it because we'll talk about later. Marge says it, but then she just can't help herself. She continues. But, I'm going to give Melissa credit for sticking to what she said. So we'll see how long that lasts. So, I do think it's sweet to see her, that Antonia's about to go to college. I think, we've seen since, high. So it's nice to see her go to school, get the education that they didn't have.
Jamie?
Jesus,
Lord,
yeah, I knew he was being too nice for his little segment to not have shade. I don't know how Rachel and Jen became such good friends, but okay, sure, I guess. Her and Drake Fuda, the BBL king of Jersey, like they seem to be fully committed to their anti-hero villain arc, whatever it is that they're going to do. I'm not necessarily saying I'm on the Fuda side, but I enjoy a messy ass couple, and not since what's her name? Who was that? The couple that came on after Teresa got back from jail.
The twins.
The twins, but it was the dark-haired woman and her husband was all in the mess, and they were like universally hated. I think the Fudas are kind of like them, but maybe a little more palatable. We'll see what happens after the season because John is committed to being involved in every aspect of mess. So I love a man that's shaped like a teapot, but has all the confidence in the world. So let's go. Let's go.
Did y'all see today? Sorry. Did y'all see the statement that came out from John Fudas.
I didn't read it. I saw it, but I
esteemed businessman and philanthropist.
Not esteemed. Not esteemed.
He should have just added double-sided dildo because that's all I see now. That's all I see.
A stinky one.
If he into double-sided dildos, we could be cool because I don't know.
Unfortunately, I live in Texas and my Google won't let me search that.
Oh, okay. I don't believe that.
They snatched it all from us, huh, Jamie?
Is that true?
Okay, man, they snatched everything from us.
He's not lying. They have it's an age restriction, some type of thing going on.
My God,
but you know what?
We got nothing.
My palate. I can't do the Fudas, and I feel like God gave the wrong child the speech impediment. That other one over there cussing her little tail off, and the other one can barely move her tongue. Okay. Like it's all wrong over there. But it just the Fudas in their scene. They're very thirsty. They're very dehydrated. As far as Melissa, the inside of the house looks nice. The outside still looks a little like wicked witch,
little crooked.
Yeah, some kind of, I don't know. It's like a witch's home.
It looked like a little, it was a little eerie.
I liked it.
A little eerie.
It's fitting. It looks like a witch's home.
I liked it. It was nicer than I expected it was going to be. I'll say that.
I agree.
Well,
I thought we was gonna get like, what is this? But it was nice.
It's like a witch's home. Yeah,
I mean, for as messy as they are, I'm surprised that that's clean.
She decorated the hell out of it. Like she
Yeah.
nice.
With Teresa's credit card.
Girls like Antonia, because we've seen them since they were little bitty. So it's always good to see them grow up and go off and do schooling and stuff.
They have some good looking kids, and the kids are very well behaved. They seem to be committed to not being problematic.
Well,
them boys are just playing sports. Antonia is doing whatever she does, so good for her.
The
Antonia look like she's ready to get the hell up out of there. Antonia look like she's tired of hearing about Teresa and Joe. She's ready to go. She said she's gonna take all her clothes. She ain't coming back.
She want to go so she can call her cousin in peace.
Yeah, she's ready.
Very that.
I'm curious.
She wants to be a Fashion Nova baddie like her cousins.
Oh, like Gia.
Like your Sheen sisters.
Like all of them. They all can be. They all are beautiful girls.
They all look alike.
That they do. But they all look cute.
They all look cute.
Okay, so then we get past all the family stuff and we go straight to some mess. So we see Black Dolores with her man Paulie, and we see Louis and Teresa. They're going to dinner, and so we find out that Louis is going to go to Jen Fessler's event. He's expected to be there at this moment, and so Teresa talks about how Louis texts John to chat. John wanted to chat at the party, and he suggested that they go meet for coffee or something and do it kind of like without one. I would say it seemed like he didn't want to do it maybe not even on camera, but less about camera, more so at an event like it's a birthday. So I respect that because I know it's reality TV and everything happens at these events, but sometimes especially for the men, I didn't see any issue with it to me personally. I didn't. Now, if it was the women, no, have it at the thing because we need to see y'all. But as the men, they're like second. That's my thoughts on it. And so Teresa, Dolores asked Teresa how is she with everybody. She says she's good with Jen and Danielle. She says that she would speak to Mard, but not to Melissa and Joe. She would not speak to them, as in she's not going to talk to them either. So then Teresa goes on a story about the other couples getting together. And proposing Frank and what's his girlfriend's name? Brittany, I think. Brittany, basically, for all six of them to get together and come together on this plot to kind of come at Louis and Teresa at the reunion last year. And she says that Frank opted out of it, whatever. Frank and Britt opted out of it, but Frank is the one that told. I don't know if he told Louis or he told her. I think he told Louis. Or whatever. And so we find out that was a possible plot. And Dolores kind of speaks. She doesn't really seem surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly feel like maybe Dolores probably was asked too. I do. And it just probably hadn't got out yet that she opted out. But I think she probably was asked too. Because why not have numbers? At that moment, Teresa and them, they ain't had no issues. But Dolores can play a line and she can be pulled if need be sometimes. But in this case, whatever, we don't know. So then we find out apparently Jen Fessler made a comment about you didn't execute the plan correctly at the reunion. And Paulie said he heard it too, but nobody seems to know what it's about. But they said that they're going to ask her about it, I guess, in the future. And to finish the scene off, like I said, Dolores didn't seem too gagged. She kind of said, well, it's no surprise that people get together before reunions to talk about whatever they're gonna do, which I could see, but the takedown stuff is quite interesting. So I'll start with you, Jamie. What are your thoughts on this whole conversation about Frank and Brittany opting out, the ladies getting together to come at Louis and Teresa, and just Dolores' whole composure, because she didn't really seem to be surprised to me. It didn't seem like it was news to her.
Dolores looks. Oh, almost cussed. Ooh, first show back. Dolores looks great. I love Dolores. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Dolores. Her and Paulie make sense together, so I like seeing their dynamic. They both, they can be taken there, but they choose to like try and live peacefully. I like that Louis or that Irish Springs. What's his name?
Paulie.
Paulie, thank you.
What?
He was trying to play like mediator on the whole situation. I agree with him. There was, why would somebody want to like go and speak one-on-one with you when y'all haven't really had that? Like, if you want to talk, we'll talk here. As far as the plan, I don't necessarily think it was nefarious as we're all going to get together and formulate a plan to take down Teresa. I fully believe they called everybody and was like, we're going to get together because I'm tired of, A, B, C, or D. It was very obvious to anybody who watched that reunion that Marge, Melissa, and Fuda all already kind of came in saying we're going to back each other up no matter what, like that. So Dolores probably wasn't surprised because like it wasn't news. Like anybody who saw it go down knew the conversation that happened between the three of them. I was a little surprised that Frank opted out, considering that him and Louis kind of had a little bit of tension last season, if I remember, but ultimately he's going to tell the truth regardless. I think Dolores probably pulled him aside and was like, we're not getting involved in any foolishness with Teresa, because regardless, Dolores is a ride or die with Teresa. They've been friends for decades, and she's going to make sure her family stays the hell out of it.
Danny?
Well, I mean, I think the reason that Dolores didn't seem surprised when Teresa said it is because if Frank told Louis that, best believe the first person he told was Dolores.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people have this thing online where they say Dolores rides the fence and stuff. I love the position that Dolores plays. I think it works on this show. I think more people on this show could stand to not get involved and just let the people that actually have the issues have the issues. And I'm on the fence about, like Jamie said, about the takedown thing. I believe they probably met just to say, hey, whatever for the reunion, but I don't necessarily think it was for a takedown per se. And what I will say is that I believe one of the main reasons I'm calling John Fuda thirsty as hell, yes, thirsty, for anybody in the comments who disagrees, thirsty as hell is because Louis tried to resolve it to him off camera, but John Fuda wants camera time. He wants camera time and an audience to capture their interaction. Of course, there would be a camera if they met, by themselves, but he wants an audience there. He wants his boys. Doesn't seem like he's man enough to handle this situation with Louis on his own. That's all.
Well, do you also think that with something as messy as this, we see people have off-camera meetings, and then when it's brought up later, they're like, I never said that. That's not what was said. Louis is known to
air while they talk, is what I was saying.
Yeah, Louis is known to not necessarily be the most forthcoming
I don't like Louis either, by the way.
person. So, I mean, and John ain't much better, but I think if I was dealing with either one of them, I'd also be like, I need as many people around to witness what's going on, because I don't trust you, and obviously you don't trust me.
A birthday party was the place to do it, knowing how they get. I mean,
it was the perfect place.
He handled Teresa while drunk. He was going to handle Louis too. Come on now.
and really quickly, like Antonio just said here, no one said it had to be off camera. I think to me,
exactly.
Those words were never said. It just more so he didn't want to be at that event. Which
one-on-one.
Yeah, that's what it was. He wanted one-on-one because he knew that John wanted to show out.
They would have
rallied the troops. Yeah. He was going to rally the troops.
To look tough in front of them. That's all
they would have filmed at a coffee shop. And then you got to think about it. I mean, Louis doesn't have the numbers with these men. Like he really doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, he got Paulie, but that's still not. You got you got rid of them two versus the other four men, as you see.
It's truly 2 versus 2 because Marge Joe he just there.
Yeah, Joe don't get him.
He just loud for no reason.
Joe's messy behind the scenes. He ain't getting in a fight. He's messy behind the scenes. Yeah. And Antonio better watch some exclamation points. I don't like his tone.
Antonio, you're there. You go over there. Sammy, everything you want to ask, Sammy?
Yeah, I do. I get why Dolores wasn't shook by it, because I mean it makes sense that before the reunion you get with your people and y'all sit and discuss, maybe what y'all are going to talk about. However, I do think in this particular instance, the way that reunion went, it was definitely a more so we finna get Teresa and Louis ass. It was very clear. Like you can tell before they probably got together, just had conversations about what they're going to discuss. But this was very intentional to go at Teresa. They came with packets and sitting back, and even when they were having the discussion, Frank was like, "I'm not bringing it up first. Y'all got to bring it up first. Then I'll jump in." It was clear that they came and they had specific details that they wanted to speak on. The only reason Frank probably did not do it is because Dolores, when she said, it had something to do with their child. Like, we're not going to discuss Frankie. Let's move on. So, and that's what Frank told. Y'all know Frank gonna spill it. And if it wasn't that type of conversation, he wouldn't have said that. So they definitely got together to try to take the girl down. But I'm sure Teresa would have done something similar before too. I think it was just different this time because it was so big and it was like a clear target type of thing. But they definitely had a conversation as far as getting Teresa.
Well, any other thoughts on this scene? If we move forward, I'm seeing the comments. Jessica said she said not a check, but a check.
But a check, a little check. Like what we say, those little checks, those little Bravo checks.
Probably the little check that Phaedra said that Todd was digging around couches trying to get kind of something like that. Little check.
He seemed like he wanted more than his wife. He gonna be in the sequence scene in the opening chapters next season.
I think
they gonna cut her and keep him.
Is the reason why she got this peach. I mean, this peach. She got this.
Very Joe Gordon.
What do they have?
And you know what? I did want to say one other thing before we go. As far as Dolores in her position, like being neutral in the middle, I think we forget. Yes, she's very close with Teresa, but she also grew up with Joe Gorga too, so she's close with the both of them. So that's probably why she really just kind of like stays back and doesn't pick, even when it looks like or it feels like she should.
And she can. She can absolutely get it popping.
Yeah, I think if they start messing with Paulie, then she gonna pick a side.
Because did you see what? We'll talk about it later. But she stepped right to that group when she saw Paulie go red. She was like, "What's going on over here?" Not my man.
Okay, so then we actually get right to the party because the party is where the bulk of. I was like, I love when they do this. I hate when they give us all this filler. Like, go ahead and give us the event. These events need to be. It shouldn't be unless you're giving us a to be continued, I guess. But a good. Honestly, it should be the bulk of the show. Like the family scenes are great, we know, but it's so much drama right now that's kind of like building. So why not get to the drama, right? So we get to Jen Fester's party. Everyone is they're all arriving. Louis cannot make it. He had a business or something or whatever. What did she say he had?
A business meeting in Florida.
A business meeting. Like that. So
I thought he was unemployed.
I don't really know what Louis does, to be honest. We're gonna find out some more later about Louis. All I remember about Louis is that video of him like he was getting into it. But he's not gonna be there. Jackie is there, so she's still filming. I like that they keep her around. She's still, she's still an integral part of the show, and it looks like she's gonna always keep her space because she's gonna stay in some drama. And so we find out that Danielle and Rachel are cool. They started out okay last season. They had some drama. I think at the reunion, if I'm not mistaken, they did kind of like get okay too. I think they ended up on good terms at the reunion as well. And so there's like all these rumors going around from John's baby mama, John Fudas' baby mama, about him and his being a big drug dealer and liking double-sided dildos. So that's like the talk of the party. And I'm like, hey, double-sided dildos. Hold on now, John. Hold on. But Teresa arrives and kind of everyone is kind of like, I wouldn't say on edge, but everybody was kind of like, oh, you can tell like presence was felt in the room. She speaks to everybody. She speaks to everybody except for Melissa. Which, and then Joe is looking uncomfortable. Marge, she does speak to Marge, but Marge runs off to the side and just like, yeah, she spoke to me or whatever. She was dry, but I just kind of walked off. I'm like, girl, just say you spoke to the girl. It's okay.
It's okay, Marge.
And that's what I don't get. Like, they gonna see the footage. They gonna see you tell the lady hi, then walk off, and then you run up there. I didn't even speak.
We gonna see
that's my point.
Yeah,
Marge,
Teresa and
please.
Marge's thing is like so old now. It's so dated. I don't even care. Like, just speak, be cordial. It's not even that deep. I don't think that
As
she's
old
thinking
as
about
Marge's
her.
neck.
I
Yeah.
honestly wish Teresa wouldn't have spoke to her either.
I agree.
She shouldn't have spoke to Marge either.
I forgot I did skip a scene, but I forgot when Jen and Marge actually met, when we saw Marge's legs, her new
Marge's little
legs,
legs.
about
She had that skirt
the
on.
vibrator. I think did Jen say she uses a toothbrush to finger herself? And
I don't remember that.
I don't. She said something about a toothbrush that she stopped by a hotel to brush her teeth or something. I don't know what that was. I don't know what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
And I didn't try to rewind to understand because I don't think I wanted to understand.
I was confused, but that was also the scene where Marge said that she was like not talking to Teresa. Jen Fessler was trying to give Teresa the benefit of the doubt, and Marge was like, "Do not speak about her to me. Like, this is what she did," basically trying to keep her on her side. So we're gonna see some friction there later on. I think we saw in the preview. And then of course Marge talk about Jen's death and how things just kind of been different, especially as things are progressing in her life, like her son getting married and Jan being passed away. Did y'all have any comments on that scene before I get back to the last scene? No.
I just find it interesting, that scene where Marge is like, I don't want Teresa speaking on me. And then the one where Joe and Melissa was talking, when he was like, what are you going to do when you see when you see Teresa? Y'all are so amped up thinking Teresa ain't thinking about y'all. She don't want to talk to y'all asses either. So just calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Because the thing is, Teresa didn't ask anybody. You know, Teresa was asked, would she speak to these people? They are volunteering this information that, you know, we're not going to speak to.
You see, she said Louis down. Louis said, what about you? Follow my lead. We're not doing none of that. Teresa don't want nothing to do with it.
And y'all know, Cortez and I, Marge will always have a little place in our heart, but the last 2 seasons, it's just becoming more and more like, at this point, girl, you used to be fun to watch, stirring up some mess and seeing like, oh Lord, here comes Marge, she's gonna start some shit. But at this point, it's like it's given a little miserable, and you're not fun to be around. And I know for certain that's why Jen and her fell out, because you can see in Jen's face, she's like, damn, like even last year, she was like, the Marge that I've known for a couple of years is not the Marge that I'm seeing on, you know, this TV show. So Jen, get with the winning team, because I don't know, it pains me, but Marge has not been fun for the last 2 seasons.
My heart hurt to have to let Marge go. I loved Marge, but
messy
these last
Marge.
2 seasons, I'm like, girl,
I didn't have to let her go because I was never holding her.
I loved Marge.
We were, Jamie. We were, and I still, you know, I kind of like Marge, but for me, what lost me with Marge is that she began to play victim. For somebody in the role that she's in, I can't stand a victim. Like, you don't
own it.
If you
it became Lisa Rinna. It became Rinna's downfall. It's like you're doing entirely too much to try to create moments when the cameras are up. Like, you're from day one when you get your filming schedule, it's like, how can I screw with Teresa this season? And that's annoying.
I think too that it was also, you know, I didn't really like Jen, the nose job Jen a while back then. And so when she was feuding with her, I was okay with it, because I was like, you know, Jen needed some discipline. But now that that's like ended, the situation with her and Teresa, I feel like it could just be where they are. It's not that deep anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, the energy that Marge had in the scene with Fessler, she shouldn't have spoken back to Teresa. She should have let Teresa said hi and ignored her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She should have walked away then.
Because it didn't match.
She should have walked away. And not only would have been more valid, like, I walked away. Girl, you
not
said,
only did she acknowledge her, she continued to acknowledge her when she walked away and talked about it. Oh, Teresa spoke to me. Like, girl.
Like, I don't know if we're gonna mention it, but that when I was saying last season, like how I really fell off of Marge, because I started to see how big of a hypocrite she was. So she does the thing to Teresa and then she walks off. And then Danielle comes and does the same thing to Jackie. And then Marge is like, what do you mean? She spoke to you. It's like, girl, you're nuts. You are clearly nuts.
It is the selective outrage. Like,
very much so. I agree. All right, so things get interesting here. So Jen Fessler comes in. They surprise her. She is surprised. She thought it would be like a little small dinner with couples. She didn't know it would be like everybody there. I love that for her. I love they giving her this little treatment. She is a gem to this show now. I think and I could see her maybe next year even getting, you know, being on Housewife. I mean, I would have rather been her over Rachel, but it looks like John made sure that they got it. So hey.
You know what she reminds me of on this show? She's like the Tanya from Atlanta of this show.
That's literally like a perfect comparison. She's here for a good time. I'm here for drinks and fun and laughs. Because anytime drama pops up, she's like, she tickled me whenever we see the preview and she's screaming at everybody, "That's disgusting. What happened here is disgusting." I'm like, never change, Fessler.
That was you at the cabin when everybody was arguing. That was you.
I know, I was in it. I was like, what? Just don't do it in my room. Get out of my room.
We were playfully arguing for real. No, I mean, not me and Sammy, but everybody else was playfully arguing.
You kicked Sammy out of your car.
He tried to make me walk up the mountain. And you know I got asthma.
You know I got asthma. It's all uphill. I can't make that.
Good times. So as Sammy mentioned, Danielle did speak to Jackie, walked away, and Jackie thought it was weird, but Marge didn't. Hypocrite, like he just said. You know, other Jen, nose job Jen. I'm gonna say that because it's too many. Now it's two Jens. I mean, is it like what we gonna call her? Just Fessler or Jen Fessler or Steele or
Fessler?
Okay, Fessler. But the other Jen, you know, it's like, oh, Marge is so nice to me. I mean, that drama is old. Like, why not, right? So then, the guys are talking. Everyone is kind of like looking at them, like saying, like, how old? The guys don't have issues. They don't have problems. And then within seconds, we see Joe Gorda, he's asking Paul about his boy, and Paul is like turning red like a hot dog. He's like, "What do you mean, my boy, my boy?" And then John Fudas steps in and is just like, he's talking about Louis, basically, because he was getting irritated. He realized they were trying to be passive aggressive about it, you know, and he was getting irritated. And he was just like he called. He was like, "What are you saying? Like, get you trying to say?" So then, Paul talks about the text message. He said that he saw the text message exchange between John and Louis where they were talking about when they were going to meet up, and he basically agreed that they should meet somewhere else, not necessarily here. And so John Fuda was like, "Why would I give this man the respect to meet me outside of the cameras, outside of this party?" He didn't say cameras, but outside. Like, why would I give him the respect to choose where we're going to meet? When he disrespected me or whatever, he should just meet wherever I want to meet. And that's just what it is. And so they basically get on to Paul and saying he's chosen a side. And I'm like, Joe, you've chosen a side too. So let's not play that. I mean, I don't think he's chosen a side. He clearly is talking to y'all. He's not being different with y'all. You know, he sees the bigger picture. You know, somebody can actually be people and also be like, you know what, I see both sides. I mean, hello, it was seeming like he a little bit of Dolores rode off on him, like he was kind of like not playing fence, but like kind of being a middle person. But in this moment, they kind of pulled him into it, right? And so they get into it pretty badly because Paul and John are like over talking each other. I think Paul did let him speak, but then when he was ready to speak, he won't let him speak. And he was like, you know, you need to shut the fuck up. You don't listen. Ooh, my language. He's like, you don't listen. And he tells him to shut the F up. Dolores sees it and she kind of walks over and just like, we're leaving. We're about to go. We got to get out of here. And we see a small little scene of Joe, Marge's husband, telling John to calm down, like he needs to calm down and like not do all that.
He was telling him, "You're drunk. You're drunk. Calm down."
Yeah,
right. Yeah, because he was like, they all were turning red. They all were looking like little hot dogs to me. So Sammy, I'll start
all 5'4" of them.
Right. Sammy, what are your thoughts on this whole exchange?
You know what?
They tried to corner this man, but he fought back. I thought. I don't know.
Last year, I remember we were saying like Paulie was just didn't want no dealings with them. Remember they had the party at Dolores' house and everybody got to yell like Paulie's not gonna last around this bunch. Paulie fit right the hell in. He kind of took me off guard. I was like, oh, he's really not going to go there with them. But they were trying to be passive aggressive, and it was very annoying. Yeah. And I'm glad that he didn't even let it go on for too long before he just cut it out and was like, hey, look. You don't want to. Paulie knows that John wanted an audience. He knows that he wanted, a whole scene. He knows that's what he was after. So he was telling him. That's why I was telling Louis, like, I agree with you. You want to speak to him, just you two. But John didn't want to hear that, and he wanted to boost and show his ego in front of the Joes and look like the bad guy. But I'm glad Paulie shut it down. I'm glad Paulie told his ass he needed to shut the F up. Like, shut up. Like, just shut up. You're not even saying too much or nothing anyway. But I'm going to like Paulie, I think. Now that I see that he do got a little Jersey spice. I know they be getting crunk like that over there in Europe. Wherever the hell he from.
Have you ever seen drunk Irish people? They be fighting down. Beer bottles and rumbles. They fit right with the jersey. You said, not me.
I have not.
Not me.
Danny?
Well, I don't think that Paulie had chosen a side, but I tell you what, he's probably choosing one now. And I think it's kind of it felt like John Fuda felt like he was gonna little boy Paulie, is how he was acting. Like he expected him to take his side. Like, what loyalty do Paulie owe him to take his side over Louis? Because it wasn't enough for him for Paulie to say, I see both sides. He just wanted Paulie to take his side and his side only. Well, newsflash, Paulie has his own mind. Paulie don't have an agenda like Joe to go against Louis. Paulie don't have an agenda like the plumber to go against I don't know his name. I always forget his name.
It's the other Joe. It's the
other Joe. They only got 3 names on this show for the men and the women.
Joe and Jen. That's all their names.
And it's just foolish to me. And Paulie really got, Fuda really got saved by Marge. I know people in the comments going to say, oh, Paulie was going to wipe the floor with that boy. His BBL was going to be missing an L.
Not BB.
Yeah.
I think my question is, and I'm not really understanding why John Fuda is going so hard about this meeting, because ultimately it's very apparent that he is not interested in making peace with Louis or Teresa. So I'm like, you don't want to clear the air with this person. And, to play devil's advocate, I wouldn't want to clear the air or sit down with anybody who allegedly tried to hire a private investigator on me. And, my wife is beefing with his wife. I don't understand why there's so much like, we deserve to sit down and figure it out. But neither one of you want to. Teresa really couldn't care less about Rachel. Like, does not care that she exists. Does not care if she's friends with her. She got to know her for 3 months and then was like, okay, it's not missing anybody. So I don't know what the Fuda's game plan is. And this is where I think if they pursue this as hard as they're going to burn out very quickly, because you're not, for a show that's established as Jersey, and whether you love her or hate her, I think everybody is pretty much in agreement that Teresa is Jersey. So when you're coming into a show and not giving the audience enough time to really figure out if they like you as a character or as a cast member, you immediately go for somebody that's been on here for 15 years, like, you're going to lose regardless. Like, the network is not getting rid of Teresa. Like, that's just it. I'm sorry.
In regards to what you were saying, Jamie, about why they want to have why would y'all want to have a sit down and talk? I agree. And I want Louis to stop trying to be so much like about peace. I get it's a good thing, but with this group, you just gonna have to just dead it. Like, that's one thing I want him to stop trying to be so, because he's gonna make it hard for Teresa. Because I hope and I feel like he's going to try, but to eventually try to speak to Joe and Melissa later on in the season. I hope he doesn't.
I hope so too.
It just feels like he's gonna try to do something, but he needs to just that's one thing about Joe Giudice. He wouldn't have played that game with it. If Teresa said it's a rap, it would have been a rap for the Fudas, the Gorgas,
even on Teresa.
I want him to stop being so
fake.
The peacemaker. Yeah, it fake. It gives fake.
Yes, that's why I don't like Louis. Louis is that's why I hate Louis. Louis is this fake Gandhi wannabe,
while doing stuff behind the scenes.
And that's the thing, because you're still doing things. So then now you're trying to you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Sierra content, I don't have hair on my head, so I didn't like that. So hey, watch.
Not approach. Not approach.
Yeah.
I feel like I took a stray. No, I'm just kidding. Jessica says, "Are we not watching what's happening in the socials? You got to tell me what's going."
I guess apparently about Louis, all that stuff with Louis now.
I have not seen nothing on social.
I haven't seen nothing recently,
but DeMaio took me out yesterday.
I know that Jessica's gonna call in. She's gonna let us know about the socials. Okay. The only socials I watch is my personal, and that's with nice
and barely
chocolate men and stuff. That's it. That's all I see on my socials. I don't know what's wrong with my algorithm, but that's all.
What's wrong? An algorithm is what you curated, Miss Girl. That is your algorithm. I've learned with this show, and it's getting to be the same with Beverly Hills. I ignore social media when it comes to the show because I hate to say it, but the fandom of Jersey is toxic as hell, and they make the show damn near unenjoyable to watch for me in my square. So I'm going to ignore socials and watch the show in real time and still hate it.
Yes,
but
I'm gonna, in the quote of Denise, watch the show.
Watch the show.
I feel like all of the installments of Housewives, like the fans are getting crazy, but the one thing about Jersey is they've always just been chaotic and toxic. So I feel like even when it gets like that on Twitter, it's like, yeah, it's Jersey. So it's, I mean, we can't do no
your brand, Sammy.
Yeah, it's Jersey.
That's your brand, good and rowdy.
Whatever's in the socials is gonna. By the time we get to the reunion, I'm sure we'll hear everything.
No.
And so I'm gonna try.
Chase,
look at Chase.
What they say?
Don't taste the behavior of the comments. He's trying to start a Chase.
Get out of here, Chase.
Get out of here. Don't you have a show to record, Chase?
Okay. We chase alcohol over here. We chase it, okay? But yes, we're gonna open the lines up in a little bit, Jessica. So you can call in. Anyone that's watching right now, you can call in as well. I do want to give a quick moment to Isabel, who gave us about 10 minutes ago. I was getting through the show, but it says, "Hola guys, I caught you live finally." Isabel has been with us since we started doing Beverly Hills, so 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So she is a gem, not because she likes to give us little tips and stuff like that, but because she's a true supporter. So thank you, Isabel.
She genuinely loves us, and as narcissists, we enjoy being told over and over again how great we are.
And Isabel is rich.
Thank you, Isabel.
What Isabel does, I don't know if she's doing like money laundering or something like that, but she got
not money laundering. It's very poly. It's very poly with it. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Whatever it is, keep doing it. Just don't put us in statements because I don't want no lawsuits around here. But we would gladly take what.
I don't need to be named. I don't need to be named in the lawsuit.
He ain't got nothing to lose. Good name. He ain't got
no. Say Jamie, you're gonna be all right because your name ain't Jamie anyway.
It's right. It ain't Jamie.
You'll be changing my name.
You be changing your name. So you're right. And thank you again for the super chat, Isabel. So to continue this party, Jen is trying to leave. She's talking to Teresa, and we see Teresa sitting at the bar kind of with Rachel. But I guess this becomes a moment where Teresa talks to Rachel and kind of addresses her or whatever. And she talks about Louis trying to clear the air before the event. Rachel says that, basically he didn't want to do it at the event. And so Rachel was like, well, he's a gentleman. He would have pulled him to the side, pulled him outside. It didn't have to be inside the actual party. So she makes a comment. Teresa says, John and Louis will never be friends. He's a gentleman. And then Rachel says, what do you know about a gentleman? And Teresa, I thought she's gonna flip the bar table over because her, that little lost face, like she don't really know what to say. Rachel did.
She sees red.
She couldn't believe that she said that to her, and I kind of live for it too. And so, Teresa says, well, listen, John told Louis that he has all the respect for me because we've both been to prison. And we both in the jail. She says he was the biggest drug dealer in Durgan County and things like that. And so they kind of go back and forth to where Teresa decides to walk off. Her and Jen they start to fill up their little doggy bag with all the snacks, but the snacks weren't in the bag. The snacks were going on the floor. But they walk off or whatever. And so John actually walks past her as she is getting her doggy bag. And she says, hi, double-sided dildo. And he's just like, I don't know if he heard her or really, I don't know what he spoke, but I don't feel like he really heard what she spoke. I think he
did it because when he told Rachel, he was like, oh, Teresa spoke to me.
Exactly. But he goes to Rachel and says, oh, Teresa just spoke to me. He's like, oh yeah, well, she also mentioned the thing about you being, in jail and the biggest drug dealer in Durgan County and things like that. And so as she's trying to leave, Teresa, she kind of like stops her and basically forces her to have the conversation. Why don't you tell my husband what you just said? I'm like, okay, this is not going to be good because now
she thought Teresa was going back down.
Well, we knew she wasn't going to back down for one, but also now we're going to have this moment where a man is speaking to a woman where the woman actually kind of brought it upon because she basically, if you even see her, she's pulling Rachel into the conversation. I mean, she's pulling Teresa into the conversation. She doesn't really want her to leave and wants her to say what she just said, as if she didn't say things herself. But I mean, of course, Louis not there to defend her, so I thought it was crazy. But John approaches Teresa like the bitch that I feel like he would, and he,
The doll.
right, the doll or whatever, and they get into a whole screaming match, and she's just like, yeah, he's like, so you're gonna listen to my, my baby mama about things that she said, like, is that credible? And he basically tells her she's a has-been and that she doesn't listen. And I'm just like, okay. So Teresa again, she's trying to walk away, but Rachel's trying to grab her, but Teresa eventually leaves it. And we see Jen Fessler, who is trying to give some kind of thank you speech. Can I give her a speech? Because it is chaos on the left side of the dance floor. And that's where the episode ends. So I'll start with you, Jamie. Like, what were your thoughts seeing the conversation between Rachel and Teresa explode? Rachel kind of gagging her, the double-sided dildo come in, and then Teresa and John having their back and forth where he said that she is a has-been.
Rachel's clocked in. Drunk Rachel is fantastic. Love to see it. If you're going to be messy, like behind someone's back, I need you to keep that energy when you see them. And so I respect Rachel for keeping the exact same energy in her confessionals when she's talking to Marge and them, when she's talking to her mama, as she is when she's talking to Teresa. She actually reminds me a lot of Teresa in the earlier seasons. Like both of them, just like when it's up with somebody, it's up. Like they're going to stick with this beef. So a strange turn of events would be both of them actually becoming really, really good friends. And I would love to see that, just not with Fuda. John. John is weird. John, there's something about him that I don't like other than his neck. He gives off a little skeezy, like, well, very much like Louis, I guess. But
yes,
I don't know. They're kind of the same person with just the way like Teresa and Rachel are kind of the same person. I appreciate that Rachel gagged Teresa. I didn't like that she called her husband over, because like if you have an issue with something that Teresa said, I need you to keep it in there. I don't ever feel like, particularly when Teresa's husband is not there, like, John, you should have jumped in unless she addressed you. Now, if you would have caught her calling you double-sided dildo and you turned around and talked to her, great. She addressed you. You start the conversation. That's where it is. But don't jump in. That's between your wife. And trust me, I think she can handle herself. Like Teresa may have met her match a little bit, because Rachel's mouth is just as lethal as Jen's and Teresa is. So I don't think Teresa knows how to handle that a little
bit. Sammy?
I enjoy it. Yeah, first of all, I love when Teresa gets flustered and then she just goes.
She sees red.
She can't read, so now she's just mad. Like after she got into it with Rachel, she went over there trying to put her candy in the bag, and the Starbucks, they just falling on the floor. Everything's missing the bag.
She couldn't even get out her words. She was like,
but
what is she saying?
I do think that I'm gonna fault Teresa for, because she started off and said, I don't want to talk about it here, but I'm going to talk about it here. Like that. I didn't understand the purpose of that. So for Rachel to snap off on the eye, I mean, hey, Teresa, you asked for it. But then Rachel, they both, I guess, are a little brainless, like brick for brains, because she was saying, Teresa told her, well, Louis wanted to talk about it and, get some kind of clear air before this. And then Rachel was like, but he's not here. Girl, she said before this. Like, what are y'all missing? So then she goes on to say how her husband's a gentleman, and then he comes over there after she throws him in Teresa's face. And I'm not going to say he's not a gentleman for going at Teresa, but this is your wife's friend's event that she's hosting. Like, you don't want to give them no respect. John is full of that tequila and Ozempic and losing his goddamn mind. And I think when we think about earlier when Marge's husband was telling him, like, calm down, you're drunk. Wasn't there reports, like, when the season was filming, that they had to stop because he got drunk and went crazy on production or something like that? So I think we're going to have to watch him and his alcohol intake this season, because not hopefully, but it seems like it's going to turn into something. I'm interested to seeing how Louis is going to react when he finds out that, John tried to have words with Teresa, even though she was telling him, like,
he's going to turn red.
Well, we'll see. Because, he's all about peace. But, yeah, I see they're gonna have a sit down. I guess sometime this season.
Yeah, it looks like they do have a sit down. It's probably gonna be soon. It's probably. I think
I would
And
think
that's
like the
when
next
that's when
episode or two.
Danielle mollywups.
no.
No.
It looks like
Rachel and John
Oh.
and Teresa and Louis. Yeah.
I can see that being next episode or the following. It's
Yeah.
And another thing I thought was just downright dumb when John Fuda was like, "She's gonna listen to my wife, who's an inmate." Sir, you talking to a former inmate? You were a former inmate, so now you're finna take away the baby mama's credibility because she's in jail. The jail you
Okay, y'all should be friends.
they
Baby,
they're just dumb. Just
Teresa basically was telling that man, "Listen, we both been to jail. We should be cool. What's the problem?"
dumb. When he said that to her, Teresa was like, "Well,
I
we was
respect
inmates.
your hustle,
what you
man."
talking about?" And
Right. Well, we both been
yeah,
in
he
jail.
did
What's
not like
up?
that.
We see each other.
I mean, it's almost like she was telling her, "Did you get that confidence in jail?"
Clank, clank.
But I know y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I didn't mind Rachel bringing John into it with Teresa, because Teresa would have done the same thing if Rachel had made the comments about Louis. Teresa would have done the exact same thing and called Louis in. So I didn't so much mind that. It's just both the Fulas were very drunk, and like I think they were probably the most drunk. It was like it was their party. They were the birthday people. That's how drunk they were. I don't know if maybe they need to have some bread so that they can soak up some of the alcohol before they get to drinking, but I don't know. Allegedly to me, it looked like more than just alcohol was involved. But hey. But yeah.
Well, we know
my
Rachel
favorite
ain't
thing
snorting
was,
anything.
Hey, double-sided
Nose ain't big
dildo.
enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
Teresa just spoke to me.
double-sided dildo took me out because she
Teresa just spoke to me.
I was like,
yeah, she was pissed at that
you
point.
know, like he can, but you know
And
what?
she said it pissed at me. She
And
said,
you,
"Hey,
see what he
double-sided
said,
dildo."
and she said it loud enough for him to hear. He just did not hear because the way
She went like
Jada
this.
was.
So
he
she
was
was
skipped off like, "Oh snap, it's getting crazy." Like she wanted him to hear, he just didn't hear.
Well,
Unfortunately,
I mean, Teresa's got a speech impediment herself, so he probably didn't understand her.
And Jamie, for you saying that there's something creepy about Fula, I agree. Him and Louis are the same kind of creep. Both, I don't like either one of them. Ugh, both of them creepy.
There's some. It's, I don't know. There's something like, and I think we said, I said this in the group chat. Like, I think for Jersey, because the entire like premise of this particular franchise has been family and like the close knitness of the friendships, that I don't necessarily mind this season showing how the family is divided and they're not really messing with each other and how their friends are kind of forced to take sides, because I mean, it kind of mirrors like what happens in real life when people fall out. But also I can already tell that this season is going to be exhausting. If we have stuff like this, that everybody's taking the opportunity just to like lose their shit for the cameras.
you know who's gonna make it exhausting?
Teresa.
Joe Gorga. He's already doing it. Like for you to not want anything to do with Teresa, and where you just, even in the conversation with John,
he started. He was like, "Your boy, your boy.
Where's your boy? You support that guy? Like get your ass out the way, Joe. You don't want,
because really he started it, not Fula. Gorga started it.
And I think the thing with Louis and John Fuda is Louis too focused on trying to be the good guy, and then John wants to look like the big bad guy. They both just doing some. Doesn't seem like they're not being their authentic.
John is going to do all of the dirty work this season.
Yes, and he's
the one that's going to be he gonna get it cracking every moment he can. He's going to, because Joe is not going to say much. He's going to try to use the whole. I'm not talking about his sister. I'm saying John is the perfect person to have with Joe now, because now John is going to do everything that Joe is not going to do.
Yeah,
and they'll probably bust him upside his head. I can't
even with Frank, because when the stuff get back about when Frank told them that
Frank was an I
don't know what Frank gonna say, but it's gonna be some. I think John is gonna be the star of this season in the Fuda house.
Well, you know what I think is going to happen, because it wasn't Jen Fester was telling Marge, like, if you're not going to be dealing with Teresa, I'm not going to be dealing with Teresa. But I think what's going to happen is Teresa's going to go ask her about that comment she made, and she ain't going to have no choice but to tell the truth. And the other side ain't going to like that. So I think that's how their fallout is going to happen.
We got
I don't know. Marge is the architect of her own misery. Like Jen, I can see Fessler has been looking at Marge sideways since mid last season, and they came in as friends. But towards the end of the season, right before they went to Scotland, we saw Fessler like filming less and less with Marge and more with other people. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy Danielle didn't, threaten anybody in the confessional and then run away like a scared little girl.
I forgot Danielle was on.
Yeah,
I did until I saw her husband. I was like, hey, Danny.
Was Jen Fessler at Marge's premiere party?
Premiere for what?
She had a premiere party for the episode.
Last year?
Oh, this year. I think yesterday.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but she's been
hanging
premiere party. Oh, I don't know.
She's been hanging heavy with Teresa, Jen Turkey, and what's her name? Jackie. Her and Jackie have been thick as thieves. Good for them. They both try to.
I let the callers on the job. What took me out too was when Teresa and Rachel were talking, and then Teresa was like that he couldn't make it because of business meeting or whatever, and Rachel was like, "It's a magic trick" or something like it's just something like.
What?
I'm like, oh, what?
Teresa gave me laughs when she didn't even realize she was doing it. She's that girl. I love her down, but Teresa really has like a brick for a brain. When they were in the car and she was trying to get out to ask Jennifer, was Bill gonna come? She kept Bill. She couldn't get out, and she was like, Bill's in surgery. And then when they were talking in the when Jen was like, well, Marge spoke to me and Teresa was like, well, yeah, because she's your friend. She was like, well, no, people usually don't speak to me because I'm your friend. And Melissa. Teresa was trying to say she's being strategic, but she couldn't get it out. She just said it's strategic, and then the camera just cut to something else. I
was reminded that she had a brick for her brain when the early season she was talking about her for the photo album and how she talked to God and she didn't understand why she was in jail. And I was like, you still don't understand why you was in jail, young lady? That's crazy. I guess, hey, this love bubble is so strong, she forgot. So with that being said, we got some callers in the queue. I'm gonna go ahead and let them on. For those that are just joining us, we've been doing this Jersey.
Can we take a shot?
I'm not drinking this much. You can take a shot. Go ahead. But this is the time where we have our callers on. We put the link in the chat around the close to 45 minutes to hour mark, and we let you guys come in and you have your square. It's your time to speak. It's not a time to argue with us about what we think. Your time to speak on how you feel. And if we have some rebuttals, we'll give it. But it's your time and it's your square, open, clear space. All right.
Stanley, be nice.
Let's. I think we have a new caller in. I believe that they may be new, so I'm gonna let them on. Look, she doing all this. I'm scared, child. All right, Pete Marie. Look at it's a thug. I gotta go.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
Yeah, I've been watching y'all for a while, and I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
We love that. It's your first time calling?
Yeah, this is my first time calling.
Well, welcome. I mean, long time viewer, I was first time calling. Welcome to the lean call in. It gets crazy up here. We promise nobody won't attack you because we don't get them back. So,
so from yesterday's episode, to me, John Fuda is, oh my God, he's can I curse?
Not really, but if you gotta say it, then go ahead.
Because
it's on your spirit.
The fact that you said Teresa's a has-been, Teresa's Jersey. I'm sorry.
Hey, I get it.
John's a never been. So
he ain't even established himself over here yet. He come on here talking big like that.
And then the fact, and my other thing is with Paulie. Paulie's right. Like, be a grown man, and talk to him in private. It's not a party setting. Like, he wants an audience. Fuda wants an audience. That's what it is. He wants an audience.
Yeah. She said, "I'm trying so hard not to cuss. I'm trying so hard to keep it PG because she about to go off."
Yeah, like with Teresa, I like Teresa, but sometimes I'm like, girl, you wrong. Sometimes you're wrong. But I get where she's coming from, where with the whole Louis wants to talk in private, not around a public setting, where it's going to cause a scene, and Joe Gorga's going to get involved, his little punk self, like usual. Now I feel, and like, to me, John Fuda's going to be Joe Gorga's lapdog.
He already is.
Yeah, here it is.
And I
And
think Joe messed up by not putting him on a leash. That's where he went wrong.
right,
His
that's
hands should have
Mhm.
left.
yep. hmm And then also, but I think what's probably gonna play out in the season, we gonna see. I can't wait to see the cracks between Margaret and Jackie.
Oh,
That's
Mm.
gonna be
We didn't talk
interesting.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting how to see it plays out.
Because
But
Jackie's eating her up in the previews. Jackie
yeah,
tearing her up. Like
Jackie is tearing her up so bad. And then the fact that Marge walked away when Teresa came, I was just like, Marge, you're pressed. You're childish over this whole Dito situation. Like,
And then she
go
talking about
let
because
go.
he called her child. Somebody got to call him. You weren't talking to him, so let him
Right.
do what he called the damn boy.
And I feel like with Joe sitting there and then Teresa saying hi to everybody, I know deep down he wanted to say hi to his sister, but he was being cold because, Messy G, well, Mel Liar or whatever. Oh, well, yeah, she.
You got
Oh,
anything? We got
oh.
you got anything else for us? I gotta get to other callers on, okay?
all right.
We appreciate it.
Thank
We're
you for
gonna be here every Monday.
calling.
This is our new time. We'll be here on Mondays because it's on Sundays, so we'll see you.
Guarantee they're gonna piss you off even more as the season goes. So
Right. Yes.
Episode one.
Yes.
Episode one. All right, thank you, T. Okay, hold
Thank
on.
you. Bye.
bye.
All right, our next caller is going to be Lisa. Hey, Lisa, girl, what is going on?
Nothing. I'm glad to see y'all back, honey.
Hey.
Yes,
Yes, you
the
say
new season. But let's get started, child. These folks keep on putting Teresa's name in their mouth. You talking about she a has-been, but she can't be no has-been because every time I look up, you got her name in your mouth, baby. You know what I'm saying? And and also, Dan Foss is nasty. Girl, you use your toothbrush for your vibrator? What you doing,
I
girl?
was,
You just put it
I
back
thought
in
I
your
heard
mouth.
that. I'm like, I think I heard that. I don't know.
Then you put it back in your mouth? Girl,
No,
what
she didn't
kind
say that, Lisa.
Yeah,
of
she didn't say you
doing?
put it back in the mouth. She just said she may use the spare one. I don't know, but
I mean, it's the same as eating.
I don't care what. No, we don't do that. We ain't using electric true bus like that. We need to go buy a vibrator, okay, baby dog? You need to go buy your vibrator. They sell them everywhere. Everywhere you look on the streets of America, they got a nasty store, okay?
a
Or
nasty.
you can order offline at Adam and Eve, okay? No, 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 we ain't doing all that.
Lisa, why you got
No.
all these locations, Lisa?
Okay,
I
you
know
said
about
this is where you
it.
go.
I know about baby. Okay. So let me go. But let me go on. I just don't understand. I'll be telling you, I see, Polly ain't no punk. Polly like, dude, look here. You ain't finna punk me. And then and Dolores like, no, let me go get my man. Cause I can see he getting agitated very fast, baby dog. I'm like, especially Joe, his neon. Joe, what is wrong with this man named John? John can make sure his wife keep whatever they call it. You can't call it what they got floats. What they call it over there? I know Orange County got an orange.
They don't have nothing. They just put
Hot
that shit on
dog.
their hips.
Hot dog.
Whatever. I mean, whatever he got to make sure his wife keep her check. Okay, I don't blame him. In other words, baby doll, you seem like you're on your period every 5 minutes of the goddamn day. Okay, there ain't nobody worrying about you like that, child. You're a drug dealer, and baby doll, this man got two head dildos. I got one. What you mean two head dildos for? This is crazy. I mean, I'm weird. Did he learn that while he was in prison?
I don't know.
I'm
I don't even want to think about it. I don't.
Lisa said a dildoza, baby. Not a dill-
That's what you call it when it's two
like
heads.
everything like baby, Margaret get on my nerves. I've been telling y'all, see, I knew Margaret was coming. So I'm telling you, I was there. You talking about one thing when Margaret came in, when she came up to Jean, when she saw Jean was so messed up, when Teresa kept telling you, leave my relationship alone. I'm happy over here, okay? You happy over here, not a little bubble, okay? Then I didn't stop. I never did really like Margaret, no way, and that really turned me off. Okay, so you deserve what you got. You deserve what you getting. Okay, You know what I'm saying? You want to dig in everybody else, can't nobody else dig in your bed, in your pants, okay? And find out the information. Now, I really do believe that I believe her and Joe gonna break up. Cause you know she was crazy about the first husband, and now the first husband ain't there no more. You know, I don't know what Joe did in the bedroom, but it ain't not be going down no more. You know, they probably hit the three things going on over there. We don't know.
Well, they
But
got
I
that
think
friend of
like this,
hers living with
I
them.
think like this right here, though, baby doll. They been tattletale. Why you going to tell Melissa for? Girl, Teresa kind of talked to me. What you going to tell Teresa for? Teresa don't give. I mean, Melissa don't care. Melissa
Yeah.
ain't nothing but a lying. Melissa's a lying ass because baby doll. Jackie and Kim D said on the broadcast about everything. They told everything about what Melissa did. They say she ain't nothing but a show pony. She been trying to get Teresa off the show. She can be number one, and you can't move Teresa off that show, baby doll. I'm sorry. Something gonna have to really go down for Teresa to leave that show. Okay, I'm
Even if she
sorry.
got three off, she wouldn't be the one that's number one.
But you see, did you see her when she came out of jail? That bitch went to jail. That bitch went to prison.
Language,
My
language.
fault. I mean about rich. The witch went to jail. Came out looking good and made the money, baby. That still making money, baby. That what you say, baby. That you can't touch Teresa. That's how you supposed to do it. If you're gonna go to prison like that, go to prison like Teresa did. Come out still making money, okay, and still look fabulous as you doing, okay, and get some kind of fraud person on the side like Louis, because I do believe Louis and John both give me creepy vibes. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying. And to my boy, let me tell y'all something too. My boy Frank and Bill. Now, you might not like Frank and Bill, but they gonna tell the truth. It come down to it, they gonna tell the truth, but what really happened. What really happened. I think what I think gonna come down to between Jackie and Marjorie. Marjorie, I believe I still say today, Marjorie had something to do with that rumor about Evans being cheating on her. Being cheating on that. I really do. I think they're gonna be the fallout for it. I really do. But other than
Okay.
that, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see next week and see what's going on because I want to know how this fight happened at the railroad at the rails. I
Yeah,
want to see who put their
I'm
hands
ready
on
for it.
who.
we're gonna get to
I'm
it
ready
soon.
for that.
All right, Lisa, we got one more call in the queue. I'm gonna let them in. After
I
you.
love you, darling. And see y'all next week. Bye
Bye,
bye.
Lisa.
Good night, Lisa.
Whew.
Y'all still for them double-headed dildos. Don't stay away from y'all.
My God.
Scared. All right, our final caller for tonight is one of my other faves as well. She been messaging me and the lean channels for the last month, sending us all kind of tea, probably the social she's talking about. So, Jessica, how are you? Welcome back.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
Jessica.
Now,
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Jessica was
I
a
think.
part of the Teresa versus Melissa debate we had last year.
Yeah.
So how are you this season? How are you?
I'm going in with eyes wide open, guys. I really, really
Are
am.
you?
Okay. No, no.
Are
There.
you?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I really am. I really, really am. All right. I'm gonna make this really well as short as I can. So I'm gonna condense everything. Because I feel like I'm watching it differently. I don't know if anybody in the chat, well, I know the panel has said that they're not really up to date on it, but like we all know that the Housewives play dirty. Like they have people, bloggers that they leak information to and everything like that. The problem is that there was a blogger called, well, you know what? This is all alleged, first of all. I want to say that.
The
Okay.
Martin guy?
No, no, not that Martin guy, girl. No, no, no.
Okay.
Her name is Gabriella.
A different one.
Gabriella. It's Melissa's old nose. And what happened was her and Tree were pretty close. Well, her and Jen Aiden as well. So it's Jen Aiden, Teresa, and this girl named Gabriella. And in this, like about a month or two ago, they had a huge falling out because Gabriella started realizing that Tree and Jennifer were playing her. I can put a link here for everybody on my comments. I'll write the TikTok so everybody can see all the chapters because there's like 20 chapters and I can't go through all the chapters, okay? But long story short, she leaked the text messages of basically using John as the storyline and basically said everything that she was going to say and why you're seeing John so upset and he's so like over it is because he knew exactly what Teresa was doing with this blogger. So when you see him coming at Teresa, it's not just because like she's just saying that he likes two-sided, what. It's everything that's involving in it. He knows that he's a target for her because Teresa, she kind of shot herself in the foot in the last reunion when she said, "You're leaving," to Melissa. So now she can't talk about her because she knows she made a big stink about that, and how like Teresa probably wouldn't look the best if she said, "Okay, yeah, I'm going to resume my fighting with Melissa." She said at the reunion she was over it, so she had nothing else to talk about, so she used John. So that's the whole thing. And then in the blogger, she releases all the emails that Jen Aiden was sending her, the previews of all I think it was the first 5 episodes already. So she basically started leaking all of the things to her. And then she started leaking all of the information with receipts and everything. So that's why when I'm watching this season, I'm watching it differently, because to me, I usually like the Housewives to be a little bit more organic, but Teresa's definitely playing very, very dirty. And I'm not saying that Melissa's innocent, even though I am Team Melissa. But the things that Jennifer and Teresa are doing behind the scenes, and they have their lawyer involved on top of everything else, it's a lot, guys. But my big thing about this is I think you guys are giving Dolores way too much credit. Dolores is not this big gangster that she makes herself out to seem like she's from Patterson. Who the hell cares? She's from Patterson, all right? Patterson ain't nothing. But she last season also said a big game to Melissa, and when Melissa was reading Jackie Lorita's text message, she basically said, "Oh, Melissa, you're going down. Jackie's going to come after you." Jackie didn't do anything after that. So Dolores still coming back here, and you guys are saying that she's not picking a side. She kind of is picking a side. She's ride or die with Teresa. I'm kind of surprised that Dolores is still kind of like maybe the connection to everybody, because I don't see that. Dolores picked a side, so did Paulie. And honestly, I really don't know what Teresa's storyline would be if it wasn't for John Fuda. What else does she have going on? Besides Gabriella going to college, besides that, because she's not going to talk about Louis and their problems. So what else does she have?
I mean, looks like she is later on in the episode, later on in the season.
No, I really don't think that's what's happening.
And let's say that you're right, that she doesn't have to talk about. Well, by the same token, neither is Melissa.
But I'm not even talking about Melissa, because
I'm just saying,
the other
by that same token, neither one will. So,
Melissa does have a business going on. She just opened up her second location.
The one where she was selling the fake Chanels and stuff to people.
But she still got a second location. What Teresa got? She got a pizza job that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Not a pizza job. Not sure for Domino's. Not a franchise.
Well, what else she got? I don't know anything else she's doing. She got the Sheen. She got the Sheen clothing thing that nobody bought anything out of. I mean,
Teresa is doing Housewives of New Jersey, which is giving all those other girls and their husbands opportunity.
Yeah,
I really don't think. As much as I don't like Jen Aiden, I think Jen Aiden would be a nice replacement for Teresa, because Jen Aiden is quick. She's witty. Her attacks are pretty lethal. Teresa gets really, like, when you put her up against the wall, she just falls apart, and I don't like that.
She's feral.
Yeah, like, she's just kind of like, she can't really, like, she doesn't really hold her ground. Like, she needs somebody like Jen Aiden to kind of be right there and see, like, Teresa, say this. Teresa, say this. Teresa really fumbles the ball. I'm sorry. I don't really find her and Melissa could go, and I would still watch it, because I actually do think that I like Rachel. I like Danielle a little bit. I kind of need to see a little bit more. I like Messy Fessler. I think she's pretty entertaining too. I think that they have a good solid cast. If they were to let go of Teresa and Melissa, I wouldn't be upset about it. Yeah. Melissa does have more stuff going on outside of Teresa, so I think Melissa will still be okay. I mean, did you see her house? Did you see her house? Her house is beautiful.
Her husband's a contractor.
Yeah, her house is beautiful. And didn't Louis say last season, "Oh, Teresa, you don't even need this check. You don't even need to work another day in your life." But then yet she's doing Traders too. They're also talking about her financial woes that Louis draining her.
I don't like Louis at all.
So Louis draining her money.
That's very telling that from
I don't think I like any of the husbands
she's
on the
doing
show.
Another reality TV show. That just goes to show that she kind of shines outside of those other girls too.
But she's never had to do that before. Now she's gonna. Traders isn't paying her that much.
She's doing Traders and House of Villains.
She did She did Apprentice.
I don't
She
think
was on Apprentice a couple of years ago.
Somebody leaked that Dorinda's on it. I believe. I don't
Yeah,
think.
Kenya.
Phaedra.
Yeah, I don't
Kenya.
think. I know somebody else that's on that cast, but I'll let y'all find out later too.
But you know, I'm just calling. You know, you know what, Taz? I'm gonna send you all the chapters. I want you to watch it. I'm gonna send it to Chase. I want Chase to watch it. I know Chase is in there somewhere.
Chase. Yes.
I'm gonna send it to Chase.
Respond, Chase, since you had so much to say in the comments.
He told me that I need to be ready. So I've been ready. I've watched all of last season again.
He is here today. Jessica, Chase said you lost the debate against him. You didn't lose that debate.
I didn't lose that debate. I don't think I did. Okay, maybe like not really.
Perception is key.
I really need y'all to really watch this so that we can come back next week and be like, okay, maybe see things a little differently. But if you guys
wait, before
Jessica,
we cut it off, because I wanted to ask
have
while you were speaking on it. You're saying that John is upset with Teresa because he knew she was working with the blogger to do this. So when did he find that out? Because this is the first episode. He's already upset. It's stemming from Louis saying that he wanted to have
right. So the bloggers did a whole interview with Dana Wilkie about it and a couple of other people.
Oh Lord,
as well.
not Dana.
Yeah, and she did a couple. She did one with Dana, and she did one with somebody else. Like I didn't watch that one yet, but it was with a more reputable one. I think it was with Chrissy Balls, something like that, and she pretty much explained that in the reunion, John Fuda already had all these receipts, but they never aired that. They didn't air that to make Tree look good. Mm-hmm. But John Fuda already knew where she. Right, so he already knew all of this. He already knew all of it, which is why when Rachel was trying to explain at the reunion that they doxed, the Brittany girl, the John Fuda's baby's mama. Mm-hmm. There was a lot more to it that they didn't show, but during the reunion, he did talk about it.
Okay. So Jessica, I have a challenge for you. You want us to read and look at the episodes with different eyes. I challenge you to stop reading the damn blog.
I can't.
And
it's too late.
Just hate watch these episodes like the rest of us.
Everything's been exposed. Everything's been exposed, so I can't look at Teresa.
You cannot see it.
And I gotta let you go, okay, just because we gotta get ready to lean out. But I'll say this: when it comes to these things coming out, there's always something that comes out to counter it. So for me as somebody that gives, a review and a commentator on this stuff, I try to just I listen to what's coming out, I talk on it, but you better know that if all that came out, you're seeing that there's going to be a whole thing to come out.
Well, it explains why Teresa and Jen Aiden were pulled from doing press rounds. They didn't do any press rounds.
I don't know.
It was all Dolores, Marge, and the other girls. Jen Aiden and Teresa didn't do any.
Okay. Well, we still got more season to go. This
unfortunately.
I'm already tired, guys. I'm already tired of this season. I'm one episode in.
I told y'all, Jersey fans, you're not fans. They're thugs. You're a fan of Jersey. You are too. We all thugs over here.
Bone Thugs in Harmony.
We'll be here the rest of the season. They're going to call in. We won't be having another debate like last year because just like they're not going to talk about it, we're not going to talk about it. And
I guess I'll have to talk to Chase about it on the side.
I don't know.
Chase gonna cut you out.
You know what? You right. Okay. Thank you, Jessica. Okay.
All right. Thank you guys.
Bye, Jessica.
Bye.
I'll look at the link.
And Cortez, you and I have mentioned this before. We rarely ever believe screenshots of texts when they're.
I don't believe. I don't care. I have fake many text messages in my life.
Oh wow! Could you say that again for the camera? You have what?
Ask Chad.
Ask Chad.
Just go to Facebook. Just go to Facebook.
You do some crazy things when you're trying to get somebody, and I'm a Scorpio, so I understand what phase.
Lord,
he did it. But anyway, on that note, it's been a good show. We're gonna get ready to lean out. We thank our callers to Jessica, T. Marie, and Lisa on calling in. We're gonna do it every Monday.
So doses.
You'll see us 4 in some variation, whether it's 3, whether it's 2, and you may see other lean panelists as well, as everyone has been invited to join as we go through the season. But this is our only show this summer. I don't know what shows we're doing. I'm sorry. I know we're gonna do our same lineup, but we probably won't be back at the Salt Lake City. Outside of this show, in New York, I don't know. We'll see. So if you're asking questions, I don't know, but I will tell you if you're watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, and if you're watching what's it called, Summer House, and some of the other like gossip that's going on around every day, every week, I would definitely advise you to watch No Chaser TV because the content is great. It's one of our own, Chase, and it's just always a good time over there as well. So
Yeah,
check
so
out.
It's chaos over there.
It's chaos, but you know what?
It's chaos over there, baby.
I love it. And I believe you can cuss over there too, because Chase.
They all be drunk. Everybody be drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
I know because I was over there one time and baby, I knocked the whole.
Listen,
They got you lit.
They be down at the No Chaser TV all the time, just a drunk and cussing. But nonetheless, outside of that, it's still a really good show.
Very Fuda with it. Very John Fuda over there at No Chaser TV.
All right, y'all. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Everything we talked about today was alleged. Jess is gonna send me those links. I probably will look at them briefly, but you know, I'm not in school, so reading research, I just don't have time for it anymore. But
there's one thing that wasn't alleged.
Lisa, drop the link in the chat for me, please.
Yeah,
there's one thing that wasn't alleged.
Go ahead, Danny. What do you say?
And I was gonna say the only thing that wasn't alleged was the dildoja.
That happened.
That happened.
And they coming at you, hide your kids and hide your wife. The dildo. All right, y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all to Danny. Good night.